Relax.
Welcome to another episode of Five Things, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about the 5 greatest comic book movies of all time that you should check out. And with me, as always, my lovely co-host, Mr. Charlie. Woo, 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 woo. Now, before we get into it, let's get into a little history.
I am inevitable.
What do you think of when someone says comic book movies? Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, the Avengers. However, that is not always the case with movies. There's Ghost World, American Splendor, Road to Perdition, or A History of Violence. Now, there is some debate around when the first comic book movie debuted. Some say in the 1940s with the serial shows of Captain Marvel. Others say the 1970s with Christopher Reeve's Superman. But you need to take into account that comic book movies are an expansion of comic strips. What if I were to tell you that the horror genre only predates the comic strip genre by 2 years? A live-action short of the Katzenjammer Kids in School was released in 1898. That was the transition from comics to the big screens, and that continued over the years, and we got to see some notable characters like Zorro in 1920, Little Orphan Annie in 1932, Flash Gordon in 36, and Dick Tracy in 39. Now, while Black Panther is the first recognized comic book movie nominated for Best Picture, the first comic film nominated for Best Picture was in 1931 at the 4th Academy Awards, and that was Skippy, a film about a mischievous boy who would get in the occasional trouble. Skippy also earned nominations for Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Director, the latter being the only award that the film won. Now let's fast forward 83 years to the first Best Picture winner in a comic book film, and that is Birdman. A movie, while not coming from a direct comic book, it was about Regan Thompson, a faded actor playing a superhero named Birdman who had retired. Alright guys, with us today, our very special guest, former Women in Horror content creator, and he is on Twitch. It is Double Knees himself, Mr. Dan Emron.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I am Dan, as Dave said. I stream on Twitch 4 to 5 days a week, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time is when I go live. I play Dead by Daylight. I also dabble in some other games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, Walking Dead. So if you guys are interested in all those, stop on by twitch.tv/doubleknees.
Thanks for joining us today. So, Dan, how it works is we started at number 5, we went up to the list to number 1, and you're our guest, so you get to go first. But before we do, guys, I'm going to give you all a little bit of a spoiler. Not a single Marvel movie made my list. Not a one.
Mine either.
Whoa.
Mine neither.
Oh,
see, this is why
I have a couple. Number 5. I think I can't speak for everybody on this one, but I feel like this one is probably at least in everyone's top 5. Christopher Reeve's Superman, the first one. When you talk about iconic, you're talking about a guy who made Superman work. Where there's a scene where he's talking to Lois and he has his glasses on, and then he takes them off, and you see the transformation from Clark Kent into Superman. No one has been able to replicate that sense. And obviously, you look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Kevin Feige himself has said the directors watch that particular movie to get an understanding of what he's looking for in the Marvel films. So, I mean, for me, that's my number 5. That's my number 5.
It's a good pick. It did not make my list. If it one would have, it would have been part 2 And the reason why I didn't make my list, and I mentioned it in another episode of Five Things, is Kill Bill 2. The whole monologue about Superman kind of destroyed that legacy a little bit.
Yeah, I guess.
That's it.
I disagree because he's definitely on the list. But where? That's the question.
That's the question.
To your point about how take off the glasses and like the switch happens, I don't know if really enough people like put emphasis on that with like how Christopher Reeves was able to like almost with his eyes make the transition from Clark Kent to Superman, and it's even more so. Nobody does it better than him.
Oh yeah,
fine with this close, and it's not the same thing because he's Iron Man. But I was gonna say Robert Downey Jr. Something about like if you watch the first Iron Man when he decides he's Tony Stark versus when he decides to be working towards the better Tony Stark as Iron Man. Like there is a change there, a little more honor in his eyes, if that makes sense. But it's different because obviously,
I think to your point with that, you don't notice it as much with Tony because it's a gradual change.
His character's building, right?
Yeah, with Superman and Clark Kent, it's literally within a couple of seconds it happens, and you could like.
It's almost like it's a clinic in how to be a secret identity. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As a kid, man, that thing was anytime it was on TV, it was on in my hands. Superman pajamas, the underoos, all that stuff, man. I had everything for that. And I'm not a DC guy. I just loved Superman that much when I was a kid.
And the music.
Yeah.
You fucking find me more like
you can't. I don't think you can.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched somebody shared a clip of the scene where he first pops out. He's like, that's a bad outfit. But he changes and he saves Lois Lane from falling with the helicopter. And I'm sorry, it was the way the music swelled and all that. My wife and I are in bed on a Saturday morning, and she's just like, "I'm not crying, you're crying." I'm like, "Shut up!" I choked up, man. I'm gonna start you off with cheating. I'm gonna cheat. Imagine that. It's only gonna be 2 this time. Sin City / Watchmen. The reason I put them all together is because they all kind of came out relatively the same time. And to me, it kind of broke the mold as far as what is considered like the characters in those movies are extremely flawed. They're not really heroes.
Watchmen would be in my top 5 not to watch. I hate
Why?
Wow.
You don't like Blue Wieners?
I hate it.
You don't like
It's so
Blue Wieners?
long. It's so boring.
It is not boring. It's a great movie.
I will say this. Zack Snyder has an eye for visuals.
Yes.
I don't care what you say about his storytelling, but his visuals for his movies are it's literally like posters. Like there's just certain scenes that you could just print out and it just be like an art.
He's got an eye for it for sure. You can see it even when you watch the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yeah.
His shot, my favorite shot of that movie is when they first get to the roof of the mall and they pan out and you just see the sea of zombies. And it's like, everyone should have known right there. You're dealing with like an artist.
So my number 5, I kind of turned up the holy shit reaction a little bit, and it is Kick-Ass.
Ooh, that's a respectable 5.
He dug deep. I'll give you that.
Just seeing Hit Girl go through everything and beating ass. She's amazing.
That's a respectable 5.
Just just for the record, had I thought of it, that would have been in that number 5 too, for the same exact reason. I didn't even think of Kick-Ass, but that's
a respectable 5. That's a respectable 5. I thought they was gonna throw something else. The way you were building it up, I thought it was gonna be something I've never even seen before.
I thought it was gonna say Toxic Avenger or something like that.
For my number 4, Captain America: Winter Soldier. I think that is, for me, that's my favorite movie in the MCU, hands down. I'm going to say it now. I did not include Infinity War and Endgame in my top 5 because those movies benefit from a 22, 23 movie story to make those what they are. So those I feel like are in a different category. But of all the Marvel movies, Captain America: Winter Soldier, I think is the best one they have.
This was going to be my number 4.
I will agree with you as far as Captain America movies go. That is my favorite one. But I will say it's only because, let's be honest, Civil War is definitely an Avengers movie.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah.
Like, they
100%.
can call it whatever they want. That is an Avengers 100%. Movie. I don't care.
That should have strictly been advertised as an Avengers movie, not Captain America: Civil War.
Well, I understand. The thing is that for in the comics, it is an event. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it is a Captain America oriented comic book series, and it was an event like how DC has like the crisis events and all that kind of stuff. This was on par with that. I mean, we're talking like they did. If you include like one-offs and all kinds of stuff like that, I think it hit like almost 300 different issues. If you really wanted to like catch up with everything, everyone had a tie into that story. It was big. My number 4 is Daredevil with.
I was like, what the hell? Oh my god!
Daredevil, the director's version.
That was worth the price of admission. But you know why I said Daredevil? Because Ninja Turtles was inspired by Daredevil. The creators were huge Daredevil fans, and to the point to where it is even rumored that underneath New York City in Hell's Kitchen is literally where the ooze got dropped into the sewer, and it may have even been Matt Murdock himself that somehow caused it to happen. Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. But anyway. Yeah, dude, the Ninja Turtles.
Which one?
Oh, the first one.
There's 2 first ones.
What are you talking about? There's 2 first ones.
There's 2 first ones?
No, there's not. No, there's not. There's the first one, and then there's the shit that Michael Bay pretends is a Ninja Turtles movie. Stop it. The 7th Transformer movies where they were all Ninja Turtles in disguise or whatever. Come on. Those were crap. And it's so disappointing too, because like the one thing I will say about the original Ninja Turtle series is like we all want to Bebop and Rocksteady, and instead we got Toka and RZA, which is fine. It was fine for nostalgia purposes. Like I can watch Ninja Turtles 2 and it doesn't bother me. But to think that what we got 20 years later, and they're like, thanks for waiting. Here's this garbage. But yeah, that especially since the first one is a lot darker than the like again back to like for what it was marketed to be, it holds up.
Yeah, Raph brought the heavy, and not just the fighting, just in the story wise.
Oh yeah. That the whole thing with him and Leo, like Raph getting hurt, Leo being by his side in the tub, like all that kind of stuff. That's like, I don't know. And I always thought the montage when April O'Neil is drawing them in the scenes that they're about to be in, like Casey Jones fixing the truck with Donnie, and that somebody sat there and was like, we're going to play. That's kind of artsy fartsy in a lot of ways. Like it didn't have to be in a comic book movie at all. They could have done something different, and it wasn't all just bubblegum popcorn stuff. It was like, there's a little bit of storytelling there. There's a little bit of character building. And then they did the second one. It was just to sell toys. So
yeah.
You know, which, whatever, I can still watch it, but yeah, no, the first Ninja Turtles movie was great.
Number 4, it is Birdman for the unexpected virtue of ignorance.
It's a good movie.
It's a real good movie. Michael Keaton.
What is that?
Stone.
Is that the whole title?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did I not know that was the whole title? Probably because I don't pay attention much.
It won Best Picture, and it doesn't get lumped in the comic book films, but it very much is a comic book movie. It's essentially like Michael Keaton being retired from Batman and him trying to progress his career later.
Do you think he killed himself at the end?
Yeah.
You do? You think that's it? So he didn't fly?
No, I don't think he flew.
I don't think he flew.
The tell for me in that movie was when he was alone, he had that superpower where he's tossing shit everywhere. And when Zach Galifianakis walks in on him, you know, throwing everything with his mind, he's not actually doing it. He's actually switched over to throwing things with his actual hands.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think about it.
But I'll tell you right now, folks, what is definitely unbreakable, hopefully your attention. You've seen us go now, number 5 and 4. We got 3, 2, and 1 to go. So make sure you sit tight, sit there, and do us a favor. Like, subscribe, hit that little notification bell. And don't forget to comment on this. Give us your list, some ideas for future lists. And, see where maybe there's a little controversy here. Maybe you realize that Watchmen's an amazing film. And again, Dave's wrong. I don't know why he's always wrong in this little thing I do in the middle, but, the guy's got poor taste. I don't tell you. Anyway, so make sure that no matter what else happens today, you enjoy the rest of the show, but make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give us the comments. Mr. Dan, your turn for your number 3.
Number 3 for me is Logan.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Logan number 3. I think, besides the fact that if you took away Hugh Jackman, or if you took Xavier and Wolverine, those characters out, you have still a fantastic, like, Western style of a movie. I feel like that's a testament to how good that movie was.
Oh, yeah.
That you don't need Wolverine and Professor X characters. You could just put 2 random characters, and that storytelling by itself is fantastic. It's just the perfect way for them to end it and just reboot and keep it fresh going forward.
And it's funny too, because that could have been a shit show. Thank God it wasn't.
Yeah.
But if you ever read the Old Man Logan trade paperback, all those properties are owned by Marvel right now. Yep. Like everything that, Hawkeye is in the book. Hulk is in the book. They make mention of all the Doctor Doom is mentioned. Like, there's all this stuff that happens, and it's like, I don't know how they're gonna do it. Like, I really was like, my best case scenario was like, maybe they'll just do like they did with Sony, where it's gonna be like a partnership thing, and they'll just, we'll see. But no, considering what they had to work with, I think they did a very, very good job. And Patrick Stewart was hysterical. I mean, he was good, obviously, but. There was like one part, doesn't he like just straight up tell Logan to kiss his ass or something like that at one point in the movie? And I remember seeing it in the film.
He drops like the F-bomb a couple times too.
Something like that, yeah. And people in the theater were cracking up because you don't hear him talk like that, man.
Such a good actor.
But and I don't remember her name, but the little girl that plays X-23, she's awesome.
Yeah. She was fantastic as well.
And I like the twist at the end because again, it wasn't in the book. It's like how they just ran, like, again, sometimes it's good when they take liberties.
Mm-hmm.
But when they got to the end and there's like, not to use the phrase New Mutants because that's another property, but like the kids that all have special powers that are from the same facility and all that kind of stuff. Like, I dug the idea that maybe they make it to Canada or whatever, and maybe they turn into their own team. Like, it's Wolverine giving them a chance that he never really got. Like, there's him and Tony Stark, man, like, as far as these movie adaptations go, like, they are tortured fucking characters. They deal with a lot of shit. My number 3 is Mask of the Phantasm. Even if the DC movies, live action movies, were falling behind, the animated universe, you're always like, they just do cartoons better. DC just does 100%. Cartoons better.
100%.
You know what I mean? And Mask of the Phantasm, I personally, it's not my favorite, but it is what it is. It's like kind of the first, I know it's not canon, but it's the first of that. It kind of was, in my memory, the first like animated movie that was like earnest, and it took the, it like transitioned 2 seasons of the show and all that other kind of stuff, created a new character. Personally, my favorite DC animated universe movie is Under the Red Hood, but that's just me.
Good fucking movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. I looked at the wife in the car. I was like, I can put animated movies, right? She goes, I don't know. It's your show. I was like, I guess I'm going to do it. I feel like one of the mistakes that they always make with Batman properties, and it's not, a lot of people agree with this, I'm sure. Every story just kind of defaults to being a Joker story, or can very easily default to being a Joker story. And I think they did a really good job with that one. Yeah, he's in it and he's a big part of it, but it's not totally like there's other sort of roots in the story that, it doesn't have to be Joker all the time.
Yeah.
My number 3, I don't think any of you guys are even close to putting on your list. I'd be shocked if you do. It features Johnny Depp. It's about one of the most infamous serial killers of all time, From Hell. It is about Jack the Ripper. And
I haven't seen it.
You have not seen it?
I haven't.
It's very good. Very good.
Was that a comic book, or are you?
It was.
Who did that? I thought it was.
Yeah. It's very graphic. Yeah, stories are amazing.
I never saw it.
I have no input. Wow. I've never seen it.
I've always wanted to. I know it's one of those things, Well, I mean, to be fair, I only saw They Live like 2 weeks ago, not even like a week ago. for the first time. So I'm behind.
And it's very graphic. So if you guys know anything about the, some of his victims, there's one of the last victims was really just brutalized. And, it's in this movie.
Okay. I have to give it a watch then. Into the Spider-Verse.
I knew someone was going to pick it, and I knew it was going to be you. I don't know why. I just had a feeling.
100% benefits from being animated.
Yeah.
I think in live action, that movie doesn't work.
Here's why I avoided it. And I know it came out and people were like upset. Like, I know it's a good movie. Enough people have said it. I have zero faith in Marvel animated movies. It's that bad.
Marvel, Sony.
Oh, come on. You know what I'm saying, though.
I get what you said, but you got to
DC just kills it. But I'm missing that. I should
Soundtrack is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Movie is just fantastic. I thought Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man movie up until this point. Up until that movie came out.
I agree with you. Story's great. Soundtrack's great. You get to see Spider-Ham. I love Spider-Ham from back in the day. But Charlie, here's why you're going to like it. The artistic delivery of this film has never been done before, and anybody that does it going forward is going to rip off this movie.
Really?
Yes.
Like the style of it all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember thinking that when I saw the trailers, that it has this kind of like flowy, kind of organic look, but it's like kind of looks like it's drawn, but then it's computer generated, and it's like it is very, from what I saw in the trailers, very unique, and
it's the best Spider-Man movie.
All right, so I will make it a point. Stop yelling at me, Dave. Okay, my number 2, because it's a perfect fucking movie. And it's a film. I keep using that word, it's a film. The Dark Knight.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Don't roll your eyes, Dave. The Dark Knight is I don't care. Burn me up in the comments. It is a fucking perfect movie. It is a masterpiece. Suck my wiener 3 days till Tuesday.
If that's your number 2, what could possibly be your number 1?
So my number 1, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I will tell you this. It only was I'm a sentimental sap. I just am. It's the way I was bred. And nostalgia, which should be a huge clue, will always trump artistic style and all that kind of stuff. Dark Knight is great. And Heath Ledger is the shit. Joaquin Phoenix can go fucking walk off a goddamn pier. I was not blown away with Joker. There, light me up. That's fine, dude.
I love Joker. Joker was good.
It was good. It was not. Listen. It was 2 hours of me watching him laugh like a weirdo, so I can get to the scene where he's like, "Take a fucking caca," and he blows off, Robert De Niro's head. It was good, and I don't know. Would it be spoilers if it's been out for a year? You think?
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Like the turnaround, I will say my favorite turnaround was when you find out that he is imagining all the stuff with the chick. You realize, he's obviously crazy, but then you're like, oh, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was cool as a piece of art. But I'm sorry, Heath Ledger is my favorite Joker. And that includes Jack Nicholson. I'm sorry. We may lose subscribers, Dave.
If you take Heath Ledger and Aaron Eckhart out of this film, it's dog shit.
I disagree with you. I think Christian Bale is a decent Batman. It's the voice. The only thing that people really have a problem with is the voice. And I won't necessarily even disagree.
It's a lot deeper. And Nolan said that they digitally altered his voice to make it sound more to have a punch to it. They did.
I didn't know that.
Which is why I'm just like, why do that?
It's a good movie.
It is.
It's a good movie. It's my number 2, and you can just fucking live with it. That's what it is.
So look, going back to Superman Returns, Dan and I used to text about this all the time. It's like, if anything could have saved Brandon Routh, it would have been the end of The Dark Knight, where it's like, all right, let's send Brandon Routh to Gotham to fight Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fan theory about that, and then Nolan squashed it. He's like, "There's no Superman in this universe." I think that's kind of part of it too. Is maybe I shouldn't have put Dark Knight in my. If there was a trilogy's top 5, I think the trilogy can make it for sure. I don't know. Now you got me second guessing myself. I love Dark Knight. Fuck you, Dave.
Stick with your answer.
I'm sticking with it.
My number 2 is a fun movie to watch. I watch it multiple times every year. Every time it's on TV, everybody in my house stops to watch it. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
You're going to give me shit over Dark Knight and you're watching that Armpit Factory? What the hell is wrong with you?
Wait, did you not like it?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
I liked it. I don't think it's. I don't think it's a top. It's not in my top 5, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Here's what happened. My friend Alan lent me the DVD, and he gushed over this fucking thing, and that is the mistake that was made. Never, if anyone's watching this, do yourself a favor. Suggest the movie to somebody. Tell them you liked it. Maybe even mention a scene or two, but don't go. It's the greatest thing you've ever. You
don't want to hype it up too much because then there's just a letdown if you're not like a fan of it.
Yeah, no, he gushed like, oh my God, Scott Pilgrim is just, you know what I mean? Like that's where he was at. He was hard in his pants.
This is the perfect marriage between comic books, video games, and films. And we have Captain America in it. We have Captain Marvel in it. We have Superman in it. We have Punisher in it.
Yeah.
We have all those characters in it. And the soundtrack was great.
I would have loved to like it. I probably would have liked it. It really, you can blame my friend Alan for it.
All right. Well, we've talked about my number 1, The Dark Knight. That's my number 1. That's my number 1. I mean, can you, like you say, if you take away Aaron Eckhart and Heath Ledger, it's a bad movie, which I don't think so. But I think, again, it's just the same concept with Logan. If you take Batman, Joker, and Two-Face out, you have a good crime drama on your hands.
1978 Superman. It's the one, man. I'm sorry. That is the one. It didn't start it all, but that is, you will believe a man can fly.
Yep.
That's the tagline. Uh-huh. And I meant it when I said earlier. I get nostalgic. I hear that burr, 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 and I just get a flutter in my heart, and it's a thing. I grew up with it.
I will say Superman is the most influential movie.
This is where I get shit, I'm sure. The first one is certainly in my top 5. I did not hate the rest of them, which just goes to show how much I really love Christopher Reeves as Superman.
My number 1 was shit on already by Charlie. And I can't say that I have a clear favorite in this role, but my number 1 is Joker. I love Heath Ledger's Joker. I love Joaquin's Joker, and I love Mark Hamill's Joker. All the same, they're all special.
It wasn't bad. If you want to watch Taxi Driver, go watch Taxi Driver. Is all I'm saying.
I did watch Taxi Driver. I watched it not too shortly after Joker.
I liked it.
Wasn't expecting Joker to be up there like that. All right.
Maybe you know why I really loved on it, because they really touched on mental health in the movie, and they hit it square on and weren't afraid to dive into it. They didn't dance around it, just went straight into it, and they kept on it.
All right, folks, you've seen our list. 1 through 5, and 5 is 5, 10, 15. We had 15 choices altogether. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Let us know what we're doing hopefully right. Make sure you give us suggestions down below, future episodes, stuff that you would like to see. Maybe what your lists are. What are your top picks for the greatest comic book movies of all time? We'd love to hear it. Anyway, I've been Charlie.
This is Dave.
I'm Dan.
And we've been 5 Things.